Hurts was held in check as the Eagles lost 17-11 to the 49ers. He struggled as a passer most of the day, failing to throw a touchdown, although he did finish with 82 yards on the ground and a rushing score. So, Shannon, you jumped on the Jalen Hurts bandwagon just a bit last week, so are you still riding with him today?
No,
that's your guy.
That's your guy, Oklahoma. Oh, I told you, Jalen Hurts. I told you when they drafted him, I said he'd be better than Carson Wentz.
Yep.
And I told you, if you project his numbers out from the time he started and you put him in there where Wentz had played the same, his numbers would have been worse. His completion percentage. Since he stepped in for Wentz, his 56% completion percentage, only Trevor Lawrence is worse. 6 turnovers in 7 games, but he's really gotten lucky. Do you realize he's fumbled 8 times in 7 games, although he's only lost 2? Now, when I said this, I said, you know what? If you project his numbers out, he would have gotten sacked more than Wentz. But that offensive line is terrible. That's the same offensive line Carson Wentz was behind. I said, if you look at his numbers, his QBR, his completion percentage, it will be lower than Carson Wentz. Look at those receivers that he's throwing to. He's throwing to the same receiver that Carson Wentz would have been throwing to. Everybody was trying to make it Wentz terrible, Wentz terrible. Again, Skip, look what happened. Brooks is out again. Remember, the last 3 years, ACL, Achilles. Now they believe he has a serious chest injury, possible a pec tear.
By the way, speaking of Brandon, the other Brandon Graham tore his Achilles. Yep.
So he's like, I'm done for the year.
Both of them were gone in the second quarter yesterday.
And you can't overcome that because the 49ers lost their 3 starting running backs all within the first half. And one of them had to come back in. They've already lost another running back. They down 5 running backs all over the place. And Kyle Shanahan finding some way to get it done, Skip. No, I'm not on Jalen Hurts bandwagon. I think we kind of overvalued them last week because what they did to the Falcons. You and I both believe the Falcons aren't very good defensively. They haven't been good in a very, very long time. But this right here, this Jalen Hurts, Skip, he can have some good games, but is he the question is he the long-term answer for the Philadelphia Eagles?
And the answer is yes.
I don't believe so.
Last week, you thought it was a big yes because you were gushing about Jalen and your Eagles. You had adopted them as the biggest threat to my Cowboys.
No, Skip. I never said I believe. I said that's what they're. No, Skip. He's auditioning this entire year for the job of long-term.
I remember something else last week.
You remember you're going to catch this L this week right out here in SoFi.
So the game I watched was a very different game. I got to get me a new TV. I don't know what's wrong with mine. My old black and white TV with those rabbit ears on top.
Yeah, you need to get your new TV.
I got to get something, but whatever. Jalen Hurts, to me, goes up 3-0 in this game and was in complete control. And if we could see the first deep ball he threw as the last play of the first quarter, and this one's to Jalen Reagor, and this looks right on the money. And I'm thinking, wow, here he comes again. That was going to be 10-0, except he stepped out of bounds. That's Jalen Reagor for you. I didn't like him when they drafted him.
Oh, now you don't like him after last week. You was talking about him.
I was not talking about him. I don't like him. And yet, they came right back, going the other direction in the next quarter. And what did he do to that Quez Watkins? Yeah. What did he do? 91 yards. If we could see this out of his own end zone, boy, this looks like an arm to me. And he's gone. He's gone. And that kid Lenore, that rookie out of Oregon, he tracked him down. He ran him down and saved. I think he saved the game on that play because, again, this is going to be 10-0 Eagles at home.
Yeah.
And look at number 3. Look at Lenore. Whew. Wow. That was impressive.
You do realize if you take that play away, Jalen Hurts threw for 99 yards on 22 attempts.
Yep. Well, those are 2 sweet throws.
Let's see here for just a second. On 22 attempts, the man would have had 99 yards. He threw for 190 yards, and one of them was a 90 yards of completion.
Okay, so pretty soon after that play, they wind up off a pass interference on Josh Norman, our old friend. They get it 1st and goal at the 1, and if we could see that sequence of plays here, he goes incomplete to Ertz on the first play. That's to Ertz, misses Ertz, who had 1 catch for the whole day. And then they try Miles Sanders, and he goes -3. And then they tried the zone read, and he keeps it, and the 49ers, who have a very good defense, just pushed it all the way.
No, what a very good defense.
Yeah, they have a very good defense.
Look at the Philly special.
Philly special. They try the Philly special to Greg Ward Jr., and he just throws it to nobody in the first row. And that was it. So they don't score down close first and goal for one.
So whose fault was that? Because last year y'all said that was Wentz's fault. Last year y'all said that was Dougie P's fault. So I want to know, when you got the ball first and goal at the 2-yard line, whose fault is that this year? Are we going to give it to Sirianni?
Yep.
Or are we going to give it to Jalen Hurts like y'all divvied up the blame last year?
Play calling.
Okay. Because last year a lot of that went to Carson Wentz.
First and goal at the 1. If you put Jalen Hurts in the Wildcat and just snap it to him and let him do what Lamar did on 4th and 1 last night.
He ain't Lamar.
He's not, but he's close.
No,
Trust
he ain't
me.
close.
Running between the tackles, he is a flat-out load, and he will not be denied. If you gave him 4 cracks from the 1, you don't think he'd get it in?
The 49ers.
I'm not talking about some zone read. I'm talking about just run it straight ahead.
Didn't he have 4 cracks yesterday? Then what'd he do? Okay, this one crack. This first and goal.
No.
That's 1 crack.
So
I guess they patched it up. Guess they had some of that old that fixer flat.
Because he ran for 82 yards. Jalen Hurts had a higher QBR than Jimmy G did in this game. He was 62 QBR to 55. Interesting.
Which one had a high? Somebody had a high score. I want the guy that had the high score, not the high QBR. Which one had the high score?
Jalen Hurts is already better than Carson Wentz has ever been. He has taken over this team. This team believes in him. This team will follow him. This team is still the biggest threat to my Dallas Cowboys in the NFC
Where they going to follow him to? They're going to follow him home to the playoffs.
Second place in the division.
They ain't going to be no second place in no division.
He's better than Heineke.
If he didn't go to Oklahoma, you'd been left.
Well, he went to your school, Alabama, quote unquote.
You see what Alabama did? They keep on rolling.
Guys, I want to hear your thoughts. Is Ezekiel Elliott back after finding the end zone against the Chargers, or does he have some competition in his own backfield? We'll dive in next.
No mercy. Moving at the same time. And neither guy came set. You got to come set. Now, if Jared Cooks when Jared Cook starts to move, look at the guy at the top. Now, if he stops, now the guy he stops and the guy at the top is still shuffling.
So I thought I was cooked again, and all of a sudden, it's a 5-yard penalty, which leads to Micah Parsons. And I will be the first to admit publicly, I thought this was a bad call.
Yeah, that was a bull jive call.
This is a bad call.
You know, good one, he wasn't in no grass.
This is the sack where Justin Herbert retreats, and Micah comes full speed at him, and you are not going to backpedal and beat Micah Parsons. But I thought he had enough time to get rid of the ball before he was in the proverbial grass.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So I don't get it. It's not reviewable because it's just a subjective play. It's up to the referee to time it and call it and try to save the quarterback.
It's not a turnover play, so therefore it's not reviewable.
But I will make the case that even if you had called it correctly, even if it had just been incomplete, then what does that make it? It makes it 3rd and goal to 7. The way my defense had been playing, who knows but what we rise up and force the field goal, which is what we ended up forcing.
3rd and 7 from the 7. 3rd and goal from the 7 is a lot different than 3rd and goal from where it was, the 22, something like that, because it's a
Well, they just had to give it up. He just had to toss it to Eckler and get some yards, and then they kicked a short field goal.
Right.
It was only a 29-yard field goal. So either way, I don't think that lost the game or won the game.
Well, I like your chances better from the 7 as opposed to 22.
Okay, so then here comes my man, Dak Prescott. Dakota Rain, R-E-I-G-N Prescott. And the big plays are this one, 3rd and 4 from the 19. After Zeke had gotten stoned on the first down carry for -1, he hit Zeke with a little route to the sideline that was huge. It saved the game. Way to go, Zeke.
But I don't understand what 43 is looking at.
I don't either.
The guy's inside. Okay, so what I mean.
Okay, he beats both of them. And that's all we needed.
You got the flag.
We are back in business. And now it's time for my man Amari, who has never been a road warrior, and he road warriored up. Because
this is the only play you can remember he had.
That's the only play of the game, but it's a beautiful pass between 2 defenders, and he sucked it up, and he held on, and he caught the ball, and they say he's got a rib injury from it.
They didn't touch him.
They didn't even touch him.
Come on, Amari.
It was a tight catch in traffic that is droppable.
Yeah.
It's droppable because for him, he's not the mentally toughest guy. There's so much traffic, you could bobble that one.
They didn't even touch Amari. They hit each other.
Okay. And yet then we go all the way down to the chaos at the end. If we could just see the chaos, Mike McCarthy loses control of the game. We're going to get into this in detail. He lost his mind. He had all kinds of excuses. They run Tony Pollard, which is crazy because this is not a time to run the football. He says somebody came out who should have been in the game, and he says the scoreboard clock went out, which I find preposterous.
But I'm saying, did the question I have I don't have the sound up.
Yep.
Did they mention that from the booth that the sound is out? Because remember in the Alabama game, the thing went out, and they were talking about it.
They were not.
I didn't hear. I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. You would know.
So the point is, they didn't say anything. It's just chaos at the end.
And then he said the cameraman was blocking Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore couldn't see because of the cameraman. Stop it! All I know is Greg the Leg took Mike McCarthy off the hook.
He did.
And this is what I've been telling you. The theme of the year for me is this team will win in spite of its coach and its owner GM. In spite of both of them, we won that game with a 56-yard field goal, longest walk-off kick in the history of my Dallas Cowboys. Yes. How about them?
But Skip, you and I both know you don't play. Okay, yeah, if that's as far as you can get, okay, you take it. But you don't play and say, once we get inside of 60, we good with that. It's not, you don't get 3 points.
Obviously not the goal.
You don't get 3 points just because you line up to kick a field goal. The ball has to go through. That's 56 yards.
But that one would have been good from 60.
Well, Skip, he got